Here is the sad reality. Crypto will not make you rich. It will only make the people that are already wealthy even wealthier. And that's simply because the risk is so high. A lot of people enter crypto because they think, okay, there's a lot of volatility, there's potentially a lot of gains to be made. Let me buy this small meme coin, hoping for a 100x return. Repeat this maybe twice or 3 times, and then I'm going to be rich just by starting out with $100. But unfortunately, it doesn't work like this. Unfortunately, most people will not achieve this. The vast majority will not achieve this. Because if you do a 100x on a single investment, then on average, right, if you're outperforming, if you're not just making this 100x with Bitcoin over the decades, but you're actually outperforming in a short period of time, if you do 100x, then 99 people on average lost everything. Right? In the end, it's a player versus player game. Crypto cannot magically create new fiat currency. So you're simply just taking the money from somebody else by being smarter. So if you only start off with $100, how likely is it that in the end you will end up wealthy? It's very unlikely. And so what crypto, I believe, is actually for is to simply improve a portfolio's risk-adjusted return. If you already have enough capital in other asset classes, if you already own a bit of property, if you already own some stock, and you've got, say, 1 or 2 years of yearly income saved up, then adding very smart bets with crypto makes a ton of sense. Because then you can really spice up your returns without really getting your overall volatility of your entire wealth too much out of whack. But if you treat crypto like a casino, if you treat it like a lottery ticket, then you're simply just gambling your money away. The way smarter move than trying to make this multiple X on $100 is simply to make this multiple X by saving more, by working more, by having a second side hustle. Because think about this, right? When it's about relative returns. If you've got, say, a 60% likelihood of doubling your money, so the odds are in your favor. If you already have, say, $10,000 or $20,000 in crypto, then this might be a bet worth taking for like a single position of $2,000 or $3,000. But if you don't have that money yet, and you're betting the entire portfolio on this, and you're losing this, even though the odds might be in your favor, you're still, over the long term, if you bet your entire portfolio often enough, you're going to lose. Think about the following. Let's say you've only saved up 1 or 2 months of your income, right? You don't have anything else, and you're trying to grow that. How much effort do you actually really have to put into this? How much better do you need to be relative to the rest of the market in order to grow this, right? It's very unlikely that you'll grow it fast. If you are able to grow it fast, you still need to be very, very top of the game, right? You still have to research a lot. You have to put a lot of time and effort in it if you're not just simply relying on luck. That means maybe that time and effort would be better spent to actually working, because you could easily double that money if you simply just have a second job that pays pretty much the same salary that you had before, and you're simply saving up all of that money, and then you've got your guaranteed 2x in a relatively short amount of time. So there is a breaking point though, right? Because saving is obviously linear growth. So every month you might be saving up, I don't know, half a month of income. You do this at the beginning, you're in relative terms growing your wealth very quickly at the beginning. But if you have saved up for a while, and now you have, say, 2 years of savings, and now you're growing this by another half month in a month. Now the growth isn't that big anymore percentage-wise, right? Now it becomes way more interesting to look deeply into outperforming markets. So there is a case to be made to simply at the beginning sell your time, get into this easy linear growth, because simply just taking a salary or 2 isn't that hard. And then only once you hit a certain threshold, and I believe that's at around the 2-year mark, right? You've saved up 2 years of your income. Once you're there, then you should be focusing on accelerating this with exponential growth, with actually making your money work for you. If you try to make your money work for you, where you only have half a month of income saved up, you're very likely going to fail with this. And this is the issue that especially crypto has. A lot of people intuitively understand this, say when they invest in stocks, right? They know I can't necessarily grow my stock portfolio that quickly, So there isn't that much of an allure to that, to speculate yourself away with stocks. But with crypto, we've got all of these high-flying stories of 100x returns. And so people simply just gamble their money away. But I do believe this is the wrong approach. You have to think about this long term. The best way is to simply save your way up to a certain limit and then have a very nice balanced portfolio where you optimize the risk versus reward. Where you optimize how much potential drop can I digest, how much volatility can I digest, what's the kind of target allocations I want to have in my portfolio, how much crypto do I really want to own? Do I want to own 50% of all of my wealth in crypto when that can go down 70% temporarily? So am I okay to lose 35% of my entire wealth when you've already saved up 2 years of your income? Are you fine with that? Or do you think, okay, maybe my crypto allocation should be a bit less at that point? Still, you have to think about expected returns. And of course, the expected returns in crypto are way higher than in other asset classes, but also the volatility is way higher. If you've got a very long time horizon, then you can potentially even lever things up when prices are depressed, which currently they're obviously not. But you can potentially even lever this up. But if you don't have that long of a time horizon and you want to make money quick, and in the end, we all want to do this, right? We all want to grow our wealth as quickly as possible. The easiest, most straightforward way at the beginning is to simply just work, to simply just sell time, and to do this in any kind of flavor, right? You can do this in a sales job. You can do this by taking up a second job while you program. You can do this in any kind of way, but simply just have a very nice savings to expense ratio and keep that income, that regular cash flow running for as long as possible until you hit this 2-year mark, potentially. This also gives a bit of peace of mind once you actually start investing, because you know, in case it doesn't go in my favor, in case I do make mistakes, it's not really a problem. I could simply just repeat again and work harder and get myself out of that potential hole that you dug yourself if you haven't yet learned enough. So I know those are the kinds of words that aren't very popular in crypto, right? Everybody wants to hear about the Dogecoin millionaire story. And obviously, those people have the hardest time to also take profit because they came from nothing to very much in a very short amount of time. And they simply just want to keep the party going, right? They don't have a second way to achieve similar wealth. And so they rarely take profit at the right time, right? They simply just want to not see reality. You have this selection bias in the end, right? Everybody has. We've got the selection bias that we only want to see the news that are comforting to us, that confirm our current beliefs. And if you're currently rising, then everybody is super bullish. And that's unfortunately the time where you should be thinking about selling. But only the minority thinks about selling. And if you've got all your stakes in this one thing, then you don't have any alternative ways of generating wealth. And you suddenly hit that lottery ticket. Are you really going to quit? Are you really going to say, now is enough, I'm not greedy, I simply just take now the profit that I made? It's also very unlikely. So this is how this fundamentally goes, right? You start off with working a lot, with saving a lot. Once you've got enough, then you start trading. You potentially take the trades with a high expected return. Once you're really, really high, that's normally the plan, is to simply then just be very passive, to simply just diversify. So you're not necessarily trying to beat every market you're investing in. That's in general probably not the best idea. You want to have one specific market that you're focusing on, where you do see that you have an edge, where you do see that you have an alpha, where you're better informed than the rest. This is where you try to actively trade. But then at some point, even that trading might not be that interesting anymore. And then you're simply just riding the general market return everywhere. You simply just have a bit of Bitcoin. You simply have the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ 100. You've got a bit of gold. You've got a bit of rental property. And then you're basically set and don't have to do anything anymore. Right? So it goes from working to trading to simply just allocation in the very end. I personally am not yet at this very last step. So I very much also enjoy trading. I very much enjoy trying to get alpha in this crypto market. There's a lot of data to be mined. There's a lot of wallets to be followed. There's a lot of nice little tricks to actually beat the rest of the market. That's in the end what also this channel is about, right? This is why I focus on crypto. I'm not focusing on crypto because I'm so excited about meme coins or because I like fundamentally this whole ecosystem so much. I simply like the risk versus reward if you are well informed, right? If you simply just buy an average basket of altcoins, then you're very likely going to underperform Bitcoin simply because of a lot of total inflation, because of a lot of vesting unlocks, etc. So simply just praying and spraying in the altcoin market is very likely not going to work out long term. But if you're well informed and you know, for example, what is this kind of influencer going to promote, or when is there an upcoming product for the specific cryptocurrency, then you might be able to beat the rest, right? If you know more than the rest, then you can perform better. This is how every market works. And in crypto, all the transactions are 100% transparent, and that makes research even easier than, let's say, in the traditional markets. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish this regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you next time. Cheers.